Well, go on, I'll try to.
Boy, I'm here, man. I'm still in good spirits. I can't lie. I'm still feeling optimistic, and just getting on with it, bro, man. It feels like I'm in the Big Brother house. I can't lie.
Well, I don't know what that feels like because Big Brother, there's beer cameras, there's beer people. Not Big Brother over here, fam. And it's bigger, it's nicer. Your house must be massive because this feels like after a little while, you just feel like you're in a really nice toilet. I've just been confined.
How you dealing with all of this though?
Badly. I'm just shopping. Here's my new jumper from Misfits. This is Jaden Smith's line. Jeez, I'm just on this online shopping thing. Try not to take things too serious, I guess. Have a laugh. I don't really know what's going on. How about yourself?
Same. Do you know what? Yeah. To be honest with you, I've stopped like checking for the news like that. Really, unless someone's giving me some type of solution for something, I'm just not really too interested at the moment in hearing deaths and conspiracies and all of these things. It's for me personally, give me some solutions. Until I get some solutions, I'm staying in my yard. I'm just here. I'm just chilling.
I think that's the best. When everyone's like, yeah, it's this, it's that. What do you think, Paul? I don't have a clue. This has never happened to me before.
Ever.
I don't know, man. I just say, like, do you know what, fam? Just make sure you're staying healthy, I guess, man.
Yeah, but also mentally healthy as well, you know?
Mentally, I think that's the difficult part, you know? Like, I remember when I was speaking to my dad this morning for like 2 hours because I had a little breakout being stupid again. But one thing my dad said to me is, I always told you when you were younger, the last thing you want is to hit your leg or hit your arm and you don't see it bleeding. He goes, it's always the things you can't see which always have the worst effect. So that's always something that's sort of sat with me through life. So through this experience here, I can say, I don't think I even know the damages that are happening to me mentally. I want to fucking find out on the other side, geezer. So
yeah, I hear
that's the bit upset. That's the part that upsets me the most because you can't monitor it. I don't even know if there's any way to even monitor it to a certain extent.
I hear that. I've still been trying to have structured days where I'm like spending like certain time for certain things. So like I might spend a couple of hours just mixing. I might just be running some tunes, spend a couple of hours doing that. Then I might spend an hour listening to an audiobook, spend a couple of hours playing Xbox or something like that, and just like structure it out. Just that way, it feels like I'm doing things throughout the day as opposed to just lounging around.
So how long do you do that for before you realise you're only doing that so you don't feel like you're lounging around?
Until I probably start feeling like I'm lounging around.
And then you convert to lounging around?
No, then I'll change the routine or I'll add something.
So like that show, yeah, that's good. So give me an example. Say for example, you got 4 things and it's allocated out of your day. What would you do? Add a 5th and then decrease the amount of time with the other things, or take something out?
I might change some. Do you know what it's like? It's like gym. So like, I might go to the gym, yeah, and for the time that I'm going there, I'm heavily working on bars. That's my thing. But then it gets to a point where I'm not motivated to do that anymore. So I have to find a different exercise to motivate me to still be there. So then I might just be heavily working on flipping like cardio. And then I might get bored of that. And then I go start doing some bench work or whatever. Then I get bored of that and I go back to bars. And that's what's kept me going to the gym for as long as I've been going to the gym. If I kept doing the same thing over and over again, I would have quit gym long time ago. So I feel like it's the sort of same thing with this really. It's like when I start finding myself getting into a place where it's getting a bit too routinish and a bit boring, then I'll just find something else to motivate me to do something. Honestly, Poe, I don't know how long that's going to last because I don't have the answers. I don't know how long it's going to last. But for now, it's working for me.
That's good. I think that's what we all got to do. We all got to find out one little thing that works for us. I love the fact that everyone's doing the house party thing and jumping on that. That's really, really good. I love the fact that people are trying to do challenges, and it seems like everyone's actively saying we're in this together. Let's make a bit of fun out of it. I think it's really, really good. I like seeing the positive things coming out of it. So those things that made me smile, fam. Because
have you done any challenges?
No, I'm not really interested. Like, sorry about that, everyone. But I don't really want it. Like, this is my private time. Like, I don't want you to tell me what to do. I see you doing some challenges though. What challenges have you done?
Not really. Nah, not really. I see bare people like atting me in challenges. The only challenge I did was the no trim challenge. That was the only thing.
Oh, tell a lie. I did do one. I done one that you nominated me for. I'm lying to you. There was one on Twitter about movies.
Oh yeah, okay. That's not really a challenge.
I only did it because you said you nominated me, and before that, J2K did phone me and ask me about what films would I watch in quarantine. So now it's two people I love. I've mentioned it. Go on, it's Christmas. Go on. But after that, I was like, I'm gone again. Do you know what I mean? Wait, you done the no trim challenge, and who nominated you though?
DJ Slick.
Of course he did.
Do you know what? I was gonna nominate you, but bruv, your thing's plaits and all of that, and you got girls in there that can just plait your hair and that anyway, so it's neat.
But look all that. I've got all this facial hair I'm not too fond of. Like, I can't lie to you, I don't. Nah.
You can't grow the full thing either, can you?
I think I can, Chucks. I don't know if you can see, but can you see some stuff here?
Yeah, it's a bit bum fluffy though. I can't lie.
It is, but by the end of this, mate, who knows? It might be a bit Forrest Gumpy. Yeah. So, but I'm gonna find a way. I don't like. I'm not a fond of facial hair and stuff like that. And the thing is, yeah, Chuckie, how are we gonna find a way to do a trim? Because essentially, there's two ways you can look at it. There's two ways. We can go and do. We're not getting the trim for the whole of quarantine, and as our content goes on, and we do this, you can see it monitoring and growing, and by the end of it, you can go, here's my trim, like my free trim or what have you, like. It could be a really good moment content-wise. Or you could say, mate, I am doing a bit of content, and irrespective of that, I want to look fresh. So maybe find a way to get a trim, dog.
That's
the question is, Chuck, what are you going to do?
I'm battling with that, because you know what the thing is, yeah? Couple jobs have still been coming in, yeah? So, like, I can't look too madly unpresentable. With that being said, though, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. A part of me is curious to see what I will look like with no trim for time.
I mean, a part of me was curious about that as well. Part of me said, you know what, Paul? Just grow your beard. And then the other part said, what for? And because the other part couldn't answer what for, he just looked at me and said, don't listen to him. He can't even know what for. I was like, fuck it, I'm cutting it. Because I know why I want to cut it, but I don't essentially know why I want to keep it.
So what, do you cut your own thing?
Nah, I usually get a little mobile barber, so I just come around my house and do that stuff. Chuckie, I'm lazy. I only do what I feel like I have to do.
So how are you going to do it this time around?
When I can't reveal certain things. I'm joking. There's the young lady I happen to be with.
Okay.
Beautiful young lady.
I hear that.
She's informed me that, she can trim in that. So I'm going to go, we're going to open up that Argos or that John Lewis, whatever available.
You're going to test it out.
Little clippers and that and say, yo, baby, when you look good, you smell good, can you cut good? And then, yeah, then I might have my way out. I mean, the question is, what are you going to do, Chucks?
Fam. Because my thing, I get a trim what? Like, I get a trim, then the next week I'll go for the shape up. Then the next week I'll go for the trim. Then the next week I'll go for the shape up. Then I might go for the shape up again and then the trim. Right now, there's no order and there's no plan of action. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. But you know what?
Brock it, man. Brock it, dog.
I'm just going to, I'm just going to run with it. I'm going to run with it and just see what happens.
No.
The only thing is, bro, my beard comes all the way up here, bro.
Yeah, but you got the girl thing. You got the real beard.
Mine comes all the way up here. Fam, how can my beard go fucking near my eyeballs?
Mine ain't even getting past my cheek. It's got a cheek. This is what I say, yeah? We're all going to break quarantine. Let's just be honest. We just can't say it too... Because obviously, you know what I mean? Who's watching this content, who knows? But come on, cuz, like, a one haircut? If you can go to your brethren's house and get a trim, go get a trim, man. Quickly.
Do you know what the thing is, though? It's probably... Obviously, I know your situation is your situation, yeah? But, like, I'm sure you can, like, still have a perspective on this. But it's probably more safer to break quarantine to go and check a gal than it is to go and see your barber this time. Because your barber's with bare man.
But this is why you have to have a man that doesn't want to do that. Because the barbers that are going to be with bare man, no disrespect to them barbers, but clearly they didn't save their money. So I want the barber that says, if I'm not trimming for a couple months, I'm cool. So when I phone him and say, yo, my brother, I know you're not trimming, but here we are. It's me. And he goes, you know what, Paul? You're right. And I can have him like, oh, my brother, I'll give you a little bill. Oh, all right, say no more, fam. He goes, you know I haven't trimmed no one. That's what I want. You know I ain't trimmed no. Serious. All right, I'm coming to you, my brother. I'll take the risk.
Yeah,
Take the risk. I'll take a quick risk because we took risks every day being in the hood. But this is not something I recommend everyone do. I have to throw it out there.
Yeah, of course.
This is not something I recommend everyone do. This is not something I'm encouraging people
Disclaimer,
to do.
Disclaimer, stay in your yard. Yeah? You work out however you want to move, however you decide to move. But we're saying stay in your yard. My thing is...
Chuckie, honestly, are you really going to survive with no trim? They're saying 6 months potentially. Talk to me. Talk to me.
6 months?
No trim. I understand there's more important things to worry about. I do. This is superficial. This is first world problems. But big man, we've grown up in it. We can't act alien to it. You know what I'm saying? I watched some vampire film the other day that said you can deny the mind, but the flesh want what the flesh want.
I hear that still.
Jesus.
But I don't know. Fam, I don't even know. I don't even know.
So when are you getting your trim? That's what I want you to answer for me.
When am I? Do you know what? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I will tell you this though. I'm going another 3 weeks.
What?
I'm going another 3 weeks.
With no trim?
Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking about doing? I might even take a picture now, yeah? And then just take a picture again the next week and then take a picture again the following week after that. Just see how it looks after a month. Bro, well, see once this quarantine thing's done, yeah, when man go to the barber shops, yeah, it's going to look like a zoo. There's going to look like there's bare animals in there.
I'm more concerned about plaiting my hair, though.
Bro, have you got girls in the yard? How many girls have you got in the yard?
Excuse me, sir. Sorry, officer.
You know what I'm saying? Plaiting hair, fam, plaiting hair is a normal thing for them. No?
Yeah, but in the same breath, though, you know the rules, though. Jamaican families, they say don't put too much people, can't be putting their hands in your hair. There's an old wives' tale or something like that.
True. Yeah, that's true.
And I'll be honest with you, I listen to old wives' tales and I listen to Mother Nature. They ain't let me down. Chuckie, man, this thing is bad, you know, fam.
You know what, yeah? The other day, I stepped out on road. I went to to Tesco's quickly, yeah?
How was it?
You know that, like everyone's been saying, it feels like a game. It feels like we're in a movie or whatever, yeah? Mm. And being at home, the concept of having to stay at home because you can't go out does feel movie-ish, yeah? But see, when I touched the road, bruv, oh my God, it was fucking crazy. Because it was like, for the first time, like everyone's one up, yeah? So there's no groups, everyone's on their ones, yeah? And then, when you're going into the shops, there's like queues. Like when I got to Tesco's, yeah, there's like a big queue to get into Tesco's, and there's like yellow markers on the road. So it's like, you have to be at a distance, yeah? So anyway, now, I'm like, all right, cool. And then obviously people are like this, and then they got things over their face and all of that type of shit, yeah? So anyway, I'm standing in the queue, yeah? And now, because of the atmosphere and the way that things are, I can't lie, I'm paranoid, yeah? So I'm already out with an unrecognized fear that I've never had in my life, yeah? Because now I'm thinking, don't want too much man next to me, like I'm trying to move, do all of this type of thing. When I'm in the queue, and there's like as I said, there's yellow markings in the road, yeah? I mean, on the pavement. There's a man standing behind me, and he's like taking a step forward over the yellow marking. Now, I know it's petty, but I'm paranoid now, and he's just a little bit too close, and there's a marking in the road, yeah? So just stand behind that. Why have you got to be unruly?
I'm with that.
Why have you got to be unruly? So now you're putting me in a situation where I may have to say something. So I told my man, I said to him, like, as a polite one, I was like, yo, you get what I'm saying? Like the line. But he's looking at me like he can't speak English and he don't know what's going on and whatnot. Okay. So I've told him again. I said, see that? If you could. He stepped back a little bit, just a tiny bit, but it's like, because I've told him to step back, he doesn't really want to do it. So now I don't want to make this a confrontation. What I've ended up having to do is angle out now. So instead of stepping forward and being closer to the woman in front of me, I've taken like a bunch of steps. Do you know what? At that point, I said to myself, I don't even really want to go outside anyway. Let me just get my Rasclar, Weetabix, and yogurt and granola in that and just go back to my yard.
This is the thing, Chucks. Like, I find all of these things really funny. And I find it really funny because it's so crazy, the concept of something like the government that none of us trust, we now trust.
I know,
and even that's weird. Huh?
I know, I hear that still.
Like, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, now we trust you, and we trust you because we know no different. So that means we can be fed anything. So we can just believe anything. And then the concept of death becomes so fearful. It's like, cuz, man could die, fam. If that's what they're saying, that's what we got to do. And that is crazy. That is crazy. That's why I think, cuz we've all just got to do maybe some more research, as much research as we can do, because no one don't even trust anyone. Like, that's not safe, cuz. That can't be safe, fam. Am I wrong, Chuck? Is that
nah,
safe?
You're right. Nah, I hear you still. I hear you loud.
Because even, do you know what a report, my friend sent me a little report, cuz. And in the report, it claims a man stayed confined in his house with company and they've both died. They were found in their house unconscious. And they're potentially saying this report could be absolute nonsense. You know, so many of them come up. But the fact that this is a thought process in someone's head, they're saying it's the first attempted murder case with coronavirus where the guy knew he had it and kept himself and his girl confined to the house. Like, is this serious? Is this how much we don't trust people now? That in death, we're going to try and consider whether their actions... This is crazy, bro.
Well, I'll tell you something now. People are definitely considering leaving their yard and jumping all the way in the cookie jar. I'll tell you that now. Man, Man are thinking about sliding in through the windows, the back doors and that, and getting a quick slice of the cake and then going home.
What cake are we talking about here?
Bro, the cake.
The cake?
The cake. Pete, like, yo, like, not everybody's, you're lucky, but not everybody's cut out for this celibacy thing, you know, by force. It's different.
I'm cool with that, you know?
Huh?
Oh, I'm cool with that, though.
So am I, to be honest. For now.
I'll be honest with you.
For now.
Well, dog, let me tell you something, dog, what I have learned. What I learned, Chuck, from having picnic, dog. You lay down with dog, you catch flea, dog. So right now, anything too available saying, yeah, come round, unless it's something frequent, if this is a drive-by in this climate, you just have to ask yourself one question. Why is this girl letting you drive by? I don't want it.
I hear that still. Talking of drive-by. Go on.
Go on.
No, you go.
Talking of drive-bys.
No, go on, you're still in.
I was saying, obviously, that's very hypocritical following the statement I said previously about not trusting people, but even if that wasn't happening, we wouldn't trust you anyway. So with the extra of that,
right,
I choose. Now, because even now, yeah, even this is bad for me to say, yeah, but even the concept of being pregnant right now is the most scariest thing in the world.
I hear that.
Imagine you have to give a birth at a time of coronavirus, my nigga.
Do you know what? My cousin's missus is pregnant, yeah? And like they stopped doing the scans now. You know when you get like the scan after a certain period of time or whatever?
Yeah, they're done with that.
They stopped that, but she had her last one, so she managed to get one just before they stopped it. And he weren't even allowed in the hospital. So I think it's a thing right now, yeah. If you're having a baby, I don't even know if you could even come in the hospital anyway, you know?
But can the midwife come check you?
That's a good question. What are you saying? We're just going to go in the hospital? You're in the hospital by yourself just pushing out the thing. You might as well just stay in your yard.
They're trying to tell you right now there's not even enough doctors to tend to the patient. I'm going to fly up to the hospital. Fam, right now, it's just crazy.
Do you know what? I'd like to hear from the midwives. If there's any midwives out there, let us know what the pattern is. Is it a situation now where you just got to jump in the bath, run some warm water and just do your own thing?
What do you mean? This is not the 1800s.
Well, there might not be enough midwives out here right now, you know. And as you said, it's a plausible thing. Might not be able to go to work, dog.
You better go and get someone that's engaged. That is our midwife. Not quite a wife, not quite a girlfriend. Our midwife.
I'll hear you loudly. Do you know what, yeah? Quickly, so just talking of a couple of things, yeah? Bugzy Malone. Firstly, I'm very happy to hear that he's okay. Do you know what I mean?
And I love the way he announced it.
Big news that he's okay. Because you know what, yeah? He got into a mad accident recently and it looked like it was mad. And we was having a conversation before and I was saying to you, you know what, yeah? The positive thing, even when I saw him on the floor like that, the positive thing is that his legs was moving and that his arms was moving. Because listen, you fall off a bike, yeah? It's very easy to be paralyzed. And I know I said this to you before, but while we're here, I'll just tell you, yeah? My brethren, my neighbor, so someone that I know, yeah, he had a bike. He was on a bike, yeah, proper bike lover in that. Jumped on the bike, whatnot, doing his thing, proper biker, fell off the bike, yeah, mashed up himself. Got back on the bike again, moving and grooving or whatnot. Second time around again, but this time, you see the second one, fucked his whole shit up. And I don't know if you've ever been on a bike before, yeah? But falling off a bike at like 20 miles an hour is a madness, you know? Falling off a bike at 60 miles an hour plus. You see when he jumped back on the bike again for the third time, bearing in mind, I would never have done that. But he jumped back on the bike for the third time. See what happened this time? The thing almost split him in half, Dread.
In backside,
he can't ride again.
Well, no, who don't hear my spiel? Sorry it's Yardy today, but I've been speaking to my father and aunties this morning, and the way they talk about things, it's just like, we have the answers, we just choose not to acknowledge them. This man needed 3 times to realise that the bike thing's not for him.
He needed 3, yeah. He needed a third, and the third time then just changed his whole life around. This time now you can't go work. It's like it's benefits and that now and all of these things. And he's young. He's young, bro. He's young. Huh?
Oh.
He was in his late 30s. The last one happened in the late 30s.
You know what I did? And I remember you told me, so I did tell you as well. When I was younger, I was 13, 14 years old. I had to ride to Burger King to get food for my mum. And they gave me money to go and buy a computer game.
This was on a bicycle, right? This was on a bicycle.
This was on a bicycle, my brother. I remember we got 2 bikes. My dad just bought one of them. One was like a Tour de France bike. So it had the, you know, the one where your crowd chops up and you ride like this.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just like a standard mountain bike, proper thing. So I had the standard mountain bike. My brother had the Tour de France thing, but he wasn't really rating it. I said, "Can we swap, my brother?" And it didn't feel too. So anyway, we both riding the bike. Boom! I look to my right. I see this mixed race girl that I know likes me. I didn't really like her.
I'm listening.
I wasn't a big fan, but she was a big fan of me, and she was big. So I just knew I would look like a toothpick going into a beef burger. So I said, you know, let me just step away from that. But I was 14 as well at the same time. So, but anyway, we're doing our thing. What was her name? Her name was Laura. Might have been Laura, you know. But anyway, so I tried to do a little stunt because even though I don't like her, I want her to keep liking me to massage my ego. To say I'm insecure. You know the thing, man. Make her go back to her bridge. She's like, yo, I see Kyle doing a mad thing. And come on, fam. So I fly off the bike now, fly off the curb. The next thing I remember is a man dressed in a full outfit. I think he was Muslim. And I remember him saying a prayer to me. And I remember on the car, he's like, please, just hold on to the car. And I was in tears. Tears. I've collapsed now. I woke up, boom. I'm in my yard. Doctors. Mum crying in the kitchen. I can hear her. Dad, I'm like, what's going on? They picked me up and said, we're going to the hospital. I look in the mirror. When you walked up my staircase, there was a mirror to your right. So if you're walking down, it's on your left. And no matter what, vanity in it, you always look or whatever. So naturally, your natural instinct is to look in the mirror. My G, I was cut on this side. I still got the scar right now. So when I walked, I said, I don't want to look in the mirror, but I didn't have a choice because once I've got there, I can see the mirror. I look like Two-Face from Batman. Half of my face, you could just see blood, flesh, everything. And what my brother told me was when the situation happened was I've jumped off the curb, and as I've jumped off the curb, the bike wheel, the front wheel, has flew off as well. So the front wheels flew off, and when I've landed, the back wheel of the bike, I've landed on the back wheel of the bike, and it's made me bounce up because the weight was on the back of the bike or something, someone was saying, but the back wheels bounced. Anyway, I bounced off and I landed head first on the floor. So there was a pool of blood around my face. There was blood leading from where I got up, where the guy picked me up, to where I dropped by the car. Like, it was big, man. The bike couldn't see me for a while. The bicycle could not see me for a while.
And that's the bicycle. Do you know what it is, yeah? For me anyway, like, I just don't like, I've always said, yeah, see, like with motorbikes and shit, like, I like the look of them, but I don't really like the idea of being on one too much, because they're too vulnerable. Like, you're too vulnerable when you're on a bike going at certain speeds and that. And like, you see, like, one little glitch in a car, if I'm driving a car and I'm dusting down the road, if a cat jumps out into the road, yeah, I might flinch a little bit, but it may not be too detrimental. If you flinch on that, bro, it's an absolute madness. I've always said, if I was rich in that, I'd buy a bike and I'd just put it behind glass, because I like the look of them. I think that they like motorbikes are sexy in that. But just the idea of being on some of them, being on some of them, for me, too much for me, brethren. But like,
but you know what though, Chuck? I hear that, yeah, but in the same sense, yeah, dog, life is one big journey, you know. When you really think about it, life is one big journey, and there's gonna be times where you're gonna fall down. You can't just say, "Oh boy, I'm fall down." Something like that. You have to get back up, and maybe you have to get back on the bike. But you just have to learn the lessons of when you fell off the bike previously to not do it again.
You're missing something.
You just gotta go, I'm not doing that again.
But you're missing something. You're missing something.
What do you mean?
Sometimes, listen, sometimes it's not you. Sometimes you're on a bike, yeah, it could be a stone. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Those things, you are vulnerable, like you are super vulnerable on a bike. So it's like, there are people that say, oh yeah, I'm the best rider. Like, I'm the best rider in the world. Fam, you could be the best rider in the world, yeah? See if, like, all it takes is for one split second for something to happen. Bro, just let me go on a roller coaster.
Run out into the road.
I'm good with a roller coaster. Put me on a roller coaster, I'm all right with that. I'm good with a roller coaster. I'm good with, because I love speed, innit? I like speed, but give me a roller coaster. Give me you know what I mean? Like,
I'm going to take your word for it, because I've seen a documentary where you got from one place to another, in which was meant to be 5 hours. I heard you got there in 45 minutes. I'm exaggerating, but it doesn't matter. There's no rules. That lets me know you know what pace is.
Let me tell you something, Poe. If that was a motorbike, I wouldn't have been getting on that. I would never have been jumping on the motorbike with that Polish on.
How fast was it?
Who, what? My man going?
How fast did you go? How fast were you driving?
How fast was he driving?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro, but he was at minimum, bro, he was at minimums 150. And bearing in mind, he's taking these roads on bends. He's going round like that. You can't see what's coming, bro. You can't. It's a madness. It's a madness. For those who don't know what we're talking about a doc that I did with Vice, Gangster Rap International Poland, yeah. Go and watch that and you'll see. But you know what?
You just got to plug the man them sometimes. It's times of quarantine. Yeah, look at the content.
But back to Bugzy though. Firstly, good to know that he's good in that. There was big conversations about people filming him on the floor and stuff like that, like, and just like while he's half dead. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
I understand why it happens, you know. I don't begrudge anyone for doing it, but I just ask, when real human things happen, I want people to naturally gravitate, or try and condition your mindset to gravitate towards natural human reactions rather than 2020 reactions, which I do understand, and I'm not saying is wrong, but I'm just saying, is it appropriate at the time? If he is laying on the floor and he's vulnerable and he's hurt and he's painful, I want to know, by you filming it, are you helping him in any capacity? Does that contribute to his safety or make him feel good. Like, I want to know how many positive things come out of that. And I don't think there's many apart from loads of social traction for you and everyone knowing that you was there. It's not something that I would do. But I understand it happened. So the simple fact that, come on, mate, if I was 15, 16 years old and I saw, I don't know, D-Block Europe and something happened.
Mega Man.
Like an argument.
Mega Man
when I was younger. I'm 100% filming Mega Man. Yeah. I'm 100%. I'm taking out my camera phone at the time, which was like the same size as this pillow.
There wasn't a camera phone them time.
And there was. There was. Yeah. They sold it in Superdrug.
Yeah.
Whoa, fam.
Yo. Wait, Poet. Man would have been like this. Raw. That's Mega Man, you know? Look at Mega Man. Was, yeah?
The phone was so big, you could put it on the wall afterwards as a TV. So now everyone can see what happened. So I understand that you're going to do it. But I'm just saying, if, like, just show a bit of sympathy. I mean, what do you think? Am I being harsh?
No, I agree, man. I think that it's the same thing. You know what? I understand. Do you know what it is as well? It's an age thing to a degree too, because I think, like, if it's a big man, regardless of who it is, there's still gonna be a part of me that's thinking, fam, you're a big man. Like, why have you got your phone out in a man? He's half dead on the floor, bro. But if it's a child or a young person, I 100% understand or get it. Like, I get it. I get how that would happen. Like, you know, it's not just anyone that's on the floor in this situation. It's like these lot as well, young people see Bugzy Malone or artists like Bugzy Malone as superstars. Like stars, bro. So imagine, you know, you only ever see these people on social media and then one day you see them and they're on the floor like that. You can't even help it. But if my little brother did that, I wouldn't be mad at him for doing it, but I would have a conversation with him and explain to him, do you know what I mean? Like,
because, you know, in the heat of that moment, we're all prone to do some bollocks, isn't it? Fucking no one's perfect. Fucking hell, man. I think it's too much pressure to say to somebody, don't you ever film someone if they hurt themselves. Like, people naturally do it. Half the content you see, you probably shouldn't film, but you're doing it. So, but I just think when someone's in a bit of pain, the most important thing is, first of all, there's help on the way, that you're speaking to somebody on the phone and you're actively finding out if there's anything that you can do right there and then that can help them. Those are the things that I think are important, you know? And those are the things you walk away from the situation. And even if nobody knows, I'm here to tell everybody, even if nobody knows, you feel so good for doing it. It gives this sense of, I don't know, like, you just feel really good inside.
I hear that still.
When you do something like, and you help somebody and you see that's contributed to, even if no one ever knows and they never say thank you, I don't know, it makes me feel really good. So
he got a battering for being on road, though. He got a battering for being on road because people were saying, oh, like, why is he out here while you're supposed to be in your yard? Go on.
How do you feel about that?
We don't know.
Because we had a conversation about it before, and it was a point that we made. Yeah,
we don't know where he was coming from. And I think the point more so that, you know, that you was making when we had the conversation before is that, you know, he could have just been fucking around. He could have been. Yeah? Yeah. But we're not 100% sure he was doing that. He could have been dropping medicine off. He could have been, you know, checking up on his mum quickly or whatever it was and just, you know what, jumped on the fun aspect of the transport that he's got. You know what, cool, let me just go and just go check my mum quickly, whatever. And I'm not going to go in the yard because you know what I've seen people doing as well, yeah? I've seen some people going and checking like family members, like elderly family members, and like standing at a distance still. Because the thing is, for some people, it's like, they just want to be able to see their family members. So I understand that. You get what I'm saying? It's like, might not be able to go and hug because someone around me has had it and I don't want to put this person in danger. But I'm still going to go and I'm just going to have a quick wave and go home. It's like, there's so many situations and so many dynamics of what could have been happening to instantly jump to the conclusion that he was just fucking around on road it doesn't sit right with me. However, I will say he could have actually just been doing that. And if he was just fucking around on road or whatever, then you know what? This is one of them situations where you didn't hear and you felt.
And he'll know that. Look, do you know what? Yeah, I listened to some guy say something the other day, and they're so bad that I even say that because I can't remember who they were talking about, and I can't even remember who the guy was. No, I'm lying to you. I think it might. No, I can't remember. Anyway, this is my point. Bugzy Malone has given me far too many positive examples of him being a very responsible individual. To the point where in which, if he's had one little moment of madness, I think that's all right. I'm not gonna crucify him. He's not fucking Chris Brown when he was at the height of his madness, or 6ix9ine at the height of his madness. He's Bugzy Malone. He's a fantastic artist. He's a great example of how you can make music and stay independent. He's a great example also of how a genre of music which is neglected by most people can still do well and be in films and sit with Guy Ritchie, and he's going to get married. And so if he went out this one time and had a moment of madness, fuck it. Like,
cut the brother a bit of slack. Yeah, cut him some slack.
He must be a little bit. But again, we haven't even got all the information. So we don't even know why he was leaving his ass. But I can guarantee you this, more than half the people, and I don't have the information, but it's Twitter. More than half the people have also left their house for no reason and tried to quantify it in their mind. Yeah. So for you to leave your house for no reason, but Bugzy Malone does it and gets in a bit of a problem and you're there pointing the finger, you know my slogan. I might as well make the t-shirt. Dance a yard before you dance abroad. That's all I ask.
I'm not even mad at that. But yeah, big up Bugzy though. I hope his injuries ain't too serious. I know he said he had some serious injuries and that, but yeah, I hope that he recovers from that well. And like, it's probably a bit of a mad one as well, because I know that family members can't really go to the hospital to see anyone. So if you're like, I don't know if he's gone to some private thing where he can see family and stuff like that, but at the moment, this is like probably the worst time to be going to the hospital, boy. Because you just can't, there's not enough staff, man. There's no one around, and it's crazy. It's like, it's nuts. It's nuts out there. But I don't even want to take it to that place. Before we go, because we talked about this a little bit. Go on.
One more point, though. One thing I will say is, it's true, you know. Actually, I think we should actually stop the filming as well. Do you know why?
Why?
God forbid, touch wood, Chuckie. Just imagine, mate, you're laying in your bed, and the first time you hear, God forbid, an accident's happened to me, it's from some random guy called Randell Well, at Randell Well 1, whose post is me laying on the floor half fucking dead. Like, is that really the way you want to find out that your mate is? You'd probably want to find out through a phone call or something a little bit more privately so you can deal with it. Do you really want to find out the same way some next guy in Bradford who doesn't know you has found out about your friend? I think that's a bit insensitive now that I think about it.
It is still. It is, but
I understand it.
Yeah, I get it still. It's just dependent. It's dependent on on a few things in it. Who's doing it, the age, all of that type of shit in it. But
they should spare a thought for me and you, Chuckie, because at the time when we were 16, 17, if we'd done it, our phone would have been this big.
I'm telling you.
So we couldn't do it. So you can't do it. There's no rules.
I'm telling you. But
sorry, Chuckie, as you were.
So even last time we talked about this, but we could talk about it even more now. Yeah? Before we get out of here. Boom! Mm-hmm. Chip, Skepta, Young Adz. Yeah?
And now back in town.
The boys are back in town. Nah. No. Chip's back in town. Yeah? D-Block Europe's already been out here. Skepta's already been out here. Let's be honest. Little quiet for Chip. Chip's back in town. How about that one? Anyway, boom. I know you want to argue this, but you can't argue that. He's been quiet, bruv. It's fine.
It's never quiet for Chip, though. Because it's not quiet by musical standards. Maybe it is quiet for Chip, but then even quiet for Chip isn't totally quiet. He still has some great verses. I heard a verse the other day on the track of RV. The verse is just absolutely crazy. All the football references, Van Persie, and he was just going mad. He dropped Sparkle. Everyone knows how I feel about Sparkle. Do your Googles? 7 figures on the net. Like, He's doing something. He's not totally ghost.
No, all right.
He's verse on Mastermind. He's doing his thing.
I hear you, but it was still relatively quiet. Still relative. I don't say that as a diss. I don't say that as a diss. No.
I'm trying too hard.
No. Listen, I don't say that as a diss to Chip, yeah. But anyway, firstly, yeah, because I'm gonna let you say this, right? Let's just start with the first tune before we talk about the album. What did you say when we first had the conversation? What did you say about the tune? What did you say?
Oh, I love it.
No. What did you say?
About Chip?
Yeah. Scoreboard.
It's 1-0 Chip.
All right. Okay. Right? So,
I did.
You said 1-0 Chip.
I didn't think at the time, but yeah, it's true. I stick with that.
Yes.
It was 1-0 Chip.
So the tunes come out, whatever, yeah? And then obviously, I can't lie, I'm mad excited. But the way that I'm looking at it as well, yeah? So run with me. I know that you've heard this a little bit, but run with me. My thought process when I saw that these lot were going to drop something, yeah, was Skepta, yeah, has got international buzz. And he has done for a long time. So, you know, like, people in all four corners of the world know who Skepta is. Obviously, it's not like Rihanna or Drake, but it's like people that know in it. And like, he's internationally known, yeah? To a good degree, yeah? Good buzz, fashion shows, mixing Naomi Campbell, all these type of things, blah, blah, blah. D-Block Europe now. That European buzz right now, insane. Like, literally, these men are on absolute fire, yeah? Sold out Alexandra Palace twice.
Fucking hell.
In minutes. So Chip now.
Crazy.
Chip, how I'm looking at it is, Chip, in between that, is obviously a lot more quieter than both of them. So I'm like, yeah, you know what, Chip? This is a good moment for you to grab a little something from here. What's that?
I told you, I've been shopping.
Fucking hell. Yeah, you know what, Chip? Grab a little that buzz from there. Grab a little this buzz from here. And have some of that. Because you know what, yeah? There's like a small part in me that was like, Chip's been in the game for what? 10 years or more, yeah? To me, it's longer than 10 years, yeah? He's still young. He's 27, 28 years old, yeah? Which is even more mad to me, like, that he's been in the game for that long and he's just still that, like, he's just still out here like that. It's mad, and he's still young, but he's still young. But anyway, yeah, so, I've lost my train of thought. So yeah, boom. Wait, I'm gonna get it.
D-Block Europe, two sold out dates, you said. You were speaking about Chip.
Yeah, I've lost it. But yeah, basically I was saying something along the lines of, you know what, it's been relatively quiet for him. So this is a moment for him to grab, you know, some fan, you know what I'm saying? Like, grab some fan bases from here. That's where I was going. This is where I was going, yeah? This is where I was going. Because of, like, the fact that he's been in the game for so long, yeah? And he's been cold for a long time. Even when he's had his moments of being commercial and doing whatever it is that he's doing, he's always displayed a high level of ability, yeah? So, I kind of felt like the novelty of Chip being cold had just worn off a little bit. But it only comes to light when there's beef. So when there's like something going on, when there's like a lyrical war or a beef or whatever, that doesn't even have anything to do with Chip. People are still excited to see what Chip's going to say. So that's where that excitement comes from. And also what I will say is as well is that, like, enough times when I've gone to a live show or whatnot, yeah, and like the main artist has brought out guests, there's still always that excitement when Chip comes out. When Chip comes out, he's always getting one of the biggest reactions or whatnot. But aside from that, it just feels like, you know what, like, is this a situation where, because he's been good for so long, yeah, as a barra, has that worn off? Has it kind of worn off? So now that he's got opportunity to do a project with these lot, right? This is an opportunity to let everybody know, hold on, no, wait. No, I still am who I am. I still am who I am. And I've still got the ability of what I've got. And I can still run tune. I can still do that. It's not a problem. And I feel like
Yeah.
when the project actually dropped, yeah, the way that people received Chip showed that. It was like that excitement was back again. Everyone was like, Chip,
So
Chip,
good, man.
Chip, 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 Chip.
Do you know what though as well, Chucks, yeah? I'm not quite sure why it doesn't happen anymore. They would have to answer. I don't really know. But back in the day, yeah, the best wasn't the person that made the best music. The best was the person that spat the best.
Mm.
So a lot of artists have grown up with the concept of being the best bit, about being the best bit, the best bit, the best bit, the best bit. Chip's one of them people. We didn't love Chip because he had great music very early on. We love Chip because he could outbar everyone. That's his mantra. That's the thing that he's stuck to. That's the code to a certain extent. Now, a lot with this generation, they have like link-up songs, yeah, but it's not with barrers. Like, barrers don't do link-up tunes no more that I get excited about. Or people that the height of their game don't do link-ups like this that I have to get excited about, like a whole project. Whereas back in the day, fam, man were linking up on a regular. You'd have a movement project, you'd have a fucking Nasty Crew project, like all of these different projects. Now this is happening again. All we're actually finding out is who's the best when it comes to barring. And I'll be very, very honest with you. You can do all the joint projects you want in the world. If Chip's involved in it, I don't know a lot of people that will be able to defeat him.
I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I feel like if Chip was older, he would have been in the movement.
It's amazing.
I think if Chip was older, if he was a few years older, he would have been in the movement. And he would have been one of the coldest in the movement. I feel like he would have been. But what I also think, with that being said, I'm going to be honest with you. I know you may not agree with this, yeah? But when I first heard the first song, I was kind of worried that Skepta was going to find himself in a situation where he was going to be dragged about. And the reason why, I'll tell you this, yeah? The reason why I feel this way, yeah, is because I do feel that Chip has movement mentality. And I feel like Skepta does sometimes. Like, if you put him in a room full of other MCs, there's no taking away from the fact that he would stand there and bar everyone's head off for a long time, yeah? But I just feel like I could easily see, and this is just speculation, yeah? I could easily see Chip being the person in the studio who's like, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to have a verse that is just mediocre. I'm just not. Like, I'm going to make sure that I'm standing out at 100,000,000%. Whereas I feel like Skepta will come in there and just be on a vibe. Like, what's the tune saying? Yeah, I'm just going to come and do my thing, whatnot. I can't see Chip going in there with that. I see Chip as like, I'm letting everyone know I'm the guy, innit? I am, innit? I'm the guy. And ultimately, I'm not going to lie to you, bro, he kind of did do that. All I wanted to hear is Chip's verses. I didn't want to hear anything else. I just wanted to hear what Chip had to say.
Because that's what Chip, I think that's what Chip, like, it's very difficult to touch him, is when it comes to it. It's very, very, very difficult. He has the ability to give you the way he views life and so on and so forth in such an easy way. You just get it and you're like, fair enough, you know, cuz he does it consistently about absolutely any subject you want in the world. Girls, heartache, man them, robbery, hood, like he can talk about anything. He's a really good spokesperson for the community when it comes to what's happening in someone's life in the ages between 20 and 30. I think he can do it extremely well. Now going to Skepta. Skepta is... What can I compare Skepta to? There's so much. He's Thierry Henry for me. And I explain to you why. Skepta in his prime, at one point you just thought, what is stopping this guy? But eventually every player loses a bit of pace. So when you lose a bit of pace, but you still want to be on top, you have to adapt your game a little bit. Skepta's at this part where he's adapting his game, which just means he knows everything about it. Like, he's so strategic with his movements. He just won't be everywhere. Skepta's never looked desperate.
No,
ever.
I
He's
know.
never looked desperate. He's never looked like, but we'll never know. He might have had times where he was a little bit desperate. But throughout his whole career, every transition that's come, it just looks like it's very strategic and very kind of on purpose. And it really works well. So I'm not worried about Skepta in this situation here, because he's never given me a reason to worry before. If he was an individual that had failed many times before, I would sit here and go, oh, I don't know what Skepta's doing. But I can think about blacklisted Skepta.
Yeah.
I can think about Konnichiwa Skepta. I can go back to the time when I heard Skepta on a tune in Joel Santana. And I can tell you, no matter what phase Skepta was going through, he just had the ability to be the best version of himself, which means I ain't got time to compare him to no one else, apart from himself. That's because Skepta lives in a particular area. With Chip, the reasons why he's going to be compared to everyone is because Chip cares about bars. And everyone's got bars. Chip's bars is just better. And he puts himself in that position because he tells you I'm the best barer. So he consistently wants to be compared. I just don't think you're going to do that with Skepta. He doesn't really care about people. He's like, this is what I'm doing. Like the one time Chip said something about him on Nasty, I don't know why Chip mentioned my name, but Skepta's trying, but Devilman's trying to get, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep me out. Just leave me away. I'm over here doing my thing.
Do you know what I think?
Chuckie.
Do you know what I think? Yeah, I agree with that still. I think what happens is, yeah, if you take Chip out of that equation and you put another artist in there, it doesn't become a conversation. You just enjoy it for what it is, yeah? I think when you put certain styles of MCs or rappers in that dynamic, yeah, just a few of them, there's not a lot, but just a few of them, it changes the conversation a bit. It's like you put him in there, you take Chip out, and you put Scorcher in there. Ooh. I feel like the conversation becomes the same again. I think you take him out and you put Gets in there. You put Gets in there. What I'm saying is that when you have a certain style of rapper or MC in a dynamic like that, it changes the conversation from a fan's perspective, because to make it spicy, we start looking at the bars, the how competitive that they are. And the reason why we talk about their competitiveness is because we hear them talking about it amongst themselves. We always hear them say, even Giggs has joined in the conversation sometimes, like, you know, he's jumped on a couple of rhythms or whatever and been like, yeah, do you know what? Gets had me on that one. Or like, I heard Kano one time say on Free Wheel Ups and that, he was like, you know what? Yeah, Giggs. So when I, as a fan, when I hear those type of things, to me, that is fun and exciting. So you then put a few of these type of MCs or rappers in a certain equation, I start looking at it almost the way that they do too. So that's what I'm saying.
You can't. That's why I have to stop you. You can't.
Why not?
You'll never be able to, and I'll show you why. You'll never be able to, because we do this in studio. Sometimes people think, yeah, that it's the person that said the coolest line or the slickest thing or the wordplay was crazy. It's nothing to do with that. I know it sounds crazy. It is down to, you see the job you're meant to do. It is a lot of, obviously, you can't be shit at rapping. I'm not saying you, like, that's easy. We know you have to be good at rapping. You have to have flow and all of that. That's standard. But what now separates you from everybody else is, how well do you deliver you? Because all you'll ever be disappointed with when it comes to a Gets verse next to somebody else is, Gets hasn't given the best version of himself. Them bars, if you break them down, are probably better than everybody else on the tune. But the problem is, we know your capability and you haven't outdone yourself. Therefore, on this mission, you have failed. That is the way people begin to look at it when they're in studio doing it. Because I'm only comparing myself to myself at my last bar. And yes, you're listening to other people. Of course, you want to be better. But more time, all you can do is your job. I can't jump in my man's frame of mind. I can't think the way he thinks. I can't write the way he writes. I can only write the way I write. I'm here for a reason. Cool. What's the reason I'm here? I'm not sure, but I'm going to be the best version of myself. That's how you separate yourself. And that's how people have conversations like, I think he's the best on the track, or I think he's the best on the track, because they just deliver themselves the best way. If it's Scorcher, Gets and Wretch on an old tune where all of them are genuinely trying to give you the best wordplay, then you can compare it and say, not all the time though. I just disagree. I don't compare it like that all the time. I'm like, cuz I can't lie to you. If Gets is better than all of you on the track, but I don't like Gets' verse on this. Guess you can do better than that. Whereas you, on the other hand, you've done amazing. Do you know what I mean?
He was still the best on the tune, though. He was still the best on the tune, though.
But that's what I'm trying to say to you. When you're Gets level, and he knows it, that's just not enough, though, Chuckie, bro. Like, that's just not, that's for the ignorant ear. The ignorant ear comes in and goes, oh, that's the best. No. The educated ear knows that Gets is one of the best wordsmiths this country's ever had the fucking privilege of listening to. That applies to Gets, that applies to Chip, that applies to Kane, Gigs. These are all gods in their craft.
Of course.
Being the best on a song is just not enough no more. So when you're talking about Skepta, Chip, and Young Adz, my brother, their catalogues of music, it's not about just being the best on this song now. It's like, cuz, I want this verse to be so dope that it's incomparable to everything I've done. So more time, there's no argument about if it's the best. I know I'm the best. It needs to be that type of cocky approach, outdoing yourself now.
Yeah, of course.
I think when you're comparing it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that still. I just think that because of what they've said, yeah, and because of the competitive nature within them, even though it is about them, like, delivering the best version of themselves, I think that they've just got a competitive streak in them where even if they don't, you know what the thing is, yeah, is that, like, what you said about what Gets, yeah, Gets knows that he's a god in this thing. He knows that he is. So if he falls short in a tune, whether he hasn't delivered the best version of himself or not, where he solidified himself in the game doesn't change. It doesn't change. And it also doesn't mean that he's shit. And it also doesn't even mean that the tune's not good.
Nope.
But you know what? Amongst themselves, there's a little... Amongst themselves, which is a tiny bit of what this is, amongst themselves, there's a bit of that competitive nature within them that wants to have the best on the tune sometimes. And I like it. I'm not going to lie. I like it. I like hearing them say that. I like hearing them have them conversations. I even heard Blade Brown getting that. Who did Blade Brown did a tune with someone recently, yeah?
Yeah.
I can't even remember, but I was watching an interview or listening to something that he said. It will come to me in a bit. And he was like, one of them had said something to him about like outdoing him on a tune or some shit like that. So he was like, right, can we go studio now? Let's go to the studio now and do a thing or whatnot. I can't even remember what the name of the song is. Yeah. But they've done that and it's like, the tunes still come out cold, but it's just a little sport within them that, like, if you're an insider and you have a little inside information on the mindset of how some of these think, yeah, it makes it more fun and exciting sometimes. Do you get what I'm saying? Hence why, do you know what? Hence why you said straight away 1-0 Chip. That doesn't come. That doesn't come from nowhere.
That's because for me, on that, what I saw, the person that gave the best interpretation of themselves was Chip. That doesn't mean anybody else was bad.
Of course not.
It just means that do you know where I'm coming from?
Of course.
So it's like when it comes to everyone showing the best version of themselves and what they've said and having them catchy lines, that because all of them have the capability of doing it, Chip was the person that had the most conviction. And to me, I class that song.
I think he did on
more in Young Adz. I class that first song more in Young Adz's comfort zone. So I expected Young Adz to be the best on it, but him being where he.
Oh shit! You're gone, bro.
Is on it.
Yo.
Incredible. And that's the thing that's what I'm saying when it comes to music. Like certain sonics just.
Po.
Oh, you just hello. There you are.
The reception.
Can you hear me?
That's a bit better. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I was just saying. Yeah, sir. I think the dynamics of music to me are so much more complicated than they used to be. 140 BPM. Let's go back to back. That is so different to let's go do a song. It is so different to the point where Suspect can body people on a song. But we're never going to listen to Suspect and say lyrically he's the most. But what Suspect is he's a character within this scene. And you see the conviction of when Suspect says something. My brother, I love this guy. And he'll body somebody on a song because Suspect is it, bro, he's so good. Like Suspect is so good. I think he's so good. Because if this whole thing is a movie, you see the role he's playing, I 100% believe it. I don't disbelieve anything. But there are some people that the role they're playing, they're good rappers, but I just don't believe any of this. And I think that's a lot to do with it when it comes to music for me as well. If you're an artist, paint me a picture, let me see it. If you can't do that, How can I just say you're a good rapper? What do you mean? I can't see what you're saying.
I would have liked to have heard Young Adz rap a bit more. Like, I feel like I think we don't talk enough about him rapping. Like, he's a good rapper. But one thing that I do understand is that he's like created a style or got a style that he's like in the process of perfecting. So from that sense, I get it. But I feel like in the context of some of the songs here, I'm like, yeah, if you would have rapped here, you, in my opinion, you wouldn't have fell so short on this. If you would have just gave a little bit more rapping, there's a song on there called Saint-Tropez. I'm not going to lie, I hated it. But other than that, like the project to me started off good. It started off as a vibe. Skepta kicks it off nice with Mains. And then that was kind of what gave me more faith in Skepta. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, he's not gonna get dragged around. Huh?
Don't you lose faith in Skepta.
Listen, Skepta is the greatest well, do you know what? D-Double is my favorite MC of all time. But
and we can't argue with that.
Yeah. But Skepta is a great and a giant and a king in his thing. And like I will.
If there's a Grime Hall of Fame, he has a place there.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm comfortable enough.
All right, cool. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
lie. I was worried. I was definitely worried. Yeah. And to me, again, even then, it's just like, for me, this project was all about Chip for me, man. And like, I just hope that now he can use this as... I heard someone said something about him retiring, by the way. I don't know how true that is. But
it doesn't matter.
I hope that he can translate... I hope that he can translate cold verses into a cold project going forward of his own.
He will. Chip, these people are just so into... They're very smart, man. They're proper smart, man. They're proper smart. And they always cease to amaze us, and they always give us incredible music, and they do so much things that make me go, wow, man, you hardly ever let me down. I just believe in them even more. And I believe in Chip, I believe in Skep, and I believe in Young Adz, I believe in these people because they give me nothing else but belief. So
yeah,
I think if we encourage that type of thought process as well, they'll feel it, fam. Like, I proper believe in them lot, and I want them to do even better than they done yesterday because I see how talented they are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even the bravery to go, do you know what, boys? Let's go do a joint project together. Do you know how much ego and do you know how much pride and all those things you have to put aside to sit down with someone creatively and find a compromise? There must be such a mutual respect there that I love, fam. Like, I think that's great. I hope that is a catalyst for more people to do more joint projects. I hope it is, man. Maybe that's more ways for people to make more money and find more financial opportunities. I think it's a great thing that happened. That's what I will say.
Talking of the making money aspect, I know a lot of people, there was some people out there that were proper criticizing Young Adz's shit on there or whatever, But you know what? I was listening to the project today. Young Adz, Some people just felt like it just didn't suit him, or it just wasn't good, or he wasn't good, or whatever it is, But what I will say is, I'm going to be honest, there were some things from Young Adz that I didn't like, but I do like him. But there were certain things that I didn't like. But you know what I will say, A lot of what Young Adz does on a song, on this project particularly, you won't get until you go to the live show. I think when you go to the live show and he does his bits, I think that's when you'll actually genuinely start to see how cold some of the stuff that he did on that project. That's what I think anyway.
And also, you see when people make musical risks, I used to flipping put them at the stake, fam. Jeez, you would have thought you were watching American Horror Story, one of the witches cases, fam. But the truth of the matter is this, musically, people go through journeys, and just wait for them to, I like when you said, just let me land. Sometimes you just got to let them land. Because I remember when Kanye done the 808 on Heartbreak Project, it was bare singing. I just didn't get what was going on. Then I heard Heartless, I was like, all right. But then when I fucking dark, twisted fantasy, and it's like a marriage of the singing aspect as well as the old school Kanye married into one, where you're going to get Rick Ross telling you some dope stuff next to Pusha T on Runway. I'm like, do you know what? Maybe when Young Adz does them things, maybe he's on a musical journey that in 2 projects' time will make so much sense. And I think we should give people that space to do it.
You said Rick Ross. Honourable shout out to Fanatics, They produced the second song on the album, and it's got a real Rick Ross vibe to it. and I'll proper check for them, man. Like their production. Shout out to Joe and the rest of them lot on Fanatics, bruv. That tune there, I could easily hear the Rick Ross kind of Teflon Don vibe on that. But I got a question to ask you. Just last thing on this, yeah?
I've got Chip too.
Last thing on this. So I heard because, like, I listen to Chip when he's barring. I listen to everyone when they're barring, yeah? I'm a fan of
I hate
rappers.
you.
Of rappers and
I'm just letting you know in advance.
Yeah.
I hate you. Please continue.
All right. I'm a fan of MCs.
Let me quickly go. 2 seconds.
What are you doing?
I just go to the toilet.
Bro, we're finishing in a second. I just got a couple of questions to ask. That's all. Quickly. I'm a fan of MCs and rappers, yeah, that have something to say. And they use their music to say things that's really going on. So I got one question for you. Well, I got two. See from your perspective, so this is speculation. See when Chip goes on into the booth and he's about to spray a bar, yeah? And he's saying things. Do you feel that Chip says things flippantly, or do you feel that he has someone in mind when he's saying stuff?
He's from T. We always got someone in mind.
Okay. Second question. Who are the self-proclaimed kings in this music thing? Like, who are the ones who reference themselves as king? Like, who
anyone that's been in it long enough and has mutual respect believes they're pretty much a king to some extent. Don't just point at the ones that scream it on social media.
Who says it?
Skeppy, Wiley, like loads of people, isn't it? Like, there's so much people.
So, for me, I know Stormzy does.
Yeah.
I know Stormzy does recently, you know, I know. Obviously, Bugzy and that as well. I can't even lie to you. I didn't even say this, but see, I found out Bugzy had an accident, yeah? But I saw that he was trending. So I thought, when I heard the tune, I thought, did people think that Chip was talking about Bugzy? And then I clicked on the link and I realized that he had a mad accident. But that's a whole nother thing, yeah? I just noticed that Chip referenced King a bunch of times in this thing, yeah? And it felt like there was somebody that he was standing here and he was... just testing the water. So you know what? I'm going to throw that one out there. I heard it. That's all I'm saying. And I also noticed that the little wretch thing as well. My left titty. But yeah, listen again. Anyway, my brother, love and guidance. We'll do this another time. Yeah? We're going to do this regular, actually, yeah? But we're just going to make it shorter. Let's just do it shorter.
We can do it at the end of the week.
Huh?
We should do it like twice a week.
Yeah.
I'm really down.
We'll do it shorter and like, how can we get people involved? Like, what do you reckon we should do?
Right now, I would just suggest that people, we really want to get the Instagram popping off more. We've got good, social conversations on YouTube. I would just say, look, man, we're going to do a post when this video goes live. And we just want to know, how can we incorporate you guys more? Maybe leave some suggestions and definitely leave some questions. Because me and Chuckie had a show we were going to do, but unfortunately it's going to be put on hold. But we can start experimenting with certain things right now. So just, yeah, man.
My brother, look after yourself. And
you're so cheeky, fam. Leave Chip alone. Leave everyone alone. We need time of unity, not segregation.
Nah, there's no segregation, man. But, I love the game, man. I love it so bad. Seriously. And like, sometimes... I might be the first person to come and criticize people's music or whatever it is, yeah, but I just love this thing so bad, bruv. And like, I'm just watching everyone making moves and saying stuff and being good or being shit. And I like the conversation. Do you get me? I like it. I like to know who's doing well, who's not doing well, who's I don't know, like doing things at the best of their ability, who's falling short. Bruv, I like all of that shit, bruv. On the flip side, Cleo Soul for the R&B ones, yeah? She's got a decent
album. I want to get the album. I want to get it. Pretty good.
So, yeah, it's pretty good, man.
I have to buy it. I saw a tweet about it. I was going to go and buy it. I need to go and buy it. What am I listening to right now? God knows.
I listen to
I think I'm
Big...
going back.
Go on.
I think I'm listening to 90s right now.
Oh,
So once I get out of this 90s vibe, I'll start listening to everything. I haven't even listened to the Skepta project yet. I haven't listened to everything properly. I've listened to it one way through. That's it. The Party Next Door thing is not for me.
Nah, I don't even like it. That's dead. This project, the Insomnia project, is decent. Like, it's decent. It starts off hard. I can't lie. It starts off hard, and then there's like moments where it's just a bit, and then like, yeah, there's a couple things on there I don't like, and then whatnot. But it's decent. It doesn't offend me. And like, as I said, Chip bodies it. Skepta's decent. If I was gonna do something myself and I was gonna A&R it myself, just for my own ears though, not for like what would work on the streets, just for my own ears, I might have taken Young Adz out of that, and I might have actually put Louis Ray in it. I might have done that just for me. But you know what? That's a conversation for another day, my brother. I'm out of here. Let's hope this saves and records, yeah?
If you don't record this one, I ain't chatting to you. How about that?
All right, look, I'm good, yeah? My brother. Love you, bro.